Hello, everybody. I'm glad to share that now the eligibility requirements and all the details have been provided at the government's website today. That's the reason I'm sharing this information with you so that you can check if you're eligible to apply under this or not. And if you do have a job offer or your employer is ready to provide you all the job offer related documents, then you're good to proceed and apply on March 31, 2025. These are few eligibility requirements. Let's see for specific requirements from these streams. To be eligible for workers in Canada stream, you must be already living in Canada. You can be physically outside of Canada when you apply. Like you could be on a vacation, but then it should be like you are already having that status and you're authorized to work in Canada and you just went out for the vacation. If, for example, you went to Mexico for a vacation for 15 days, you are there and then also you can apply when this stream opens on March 31, 2025. Other than that, a valid work permit maintains status. For example, if you completed your study as a personal support worker and you applied for your PGWP, then also you have that status that is maintained, and you worked as a home support worker under this time, then you are eligible to apply. Okay, what does not count as authorization for this stream? You are not authorized to work through one of the above options. You are not eligible for this stream. For example, you're not eligible if you're working without a work permit as a business visitor under the conditions of your study permit. Because sometimes if you are a student and you are allowed to work inside Canada, then also you do not qualify to apply under this program. The other stream that is yet to be opened for the people who are not inside Canada, or maybe they're inside, but maybe this person is a student or a visitor, this stream will open later on. Other than that, the language requirement, it's just LB4, pretty simple. And I think most of you would be qualifying under this because if you're inside Canada, you have worker status, you might be meeting this requirement easily. Another one is you must have completed the equivalent of a Canadian high school diploma or higher, that is grade 12, right? If it's from outside Canada, then you need to get it evaluated. You can check here. That's called ECEA. And you can get your qualification evaluated from any of these, right? But it has to be ready with you to apply under this program. Okay. And if you have credential that is more than after for example grade 12 you completed at least 1 year study inside Canada, then you need not get your western or any equivalency done for your education. The most important part here that needs to be discussed is work experience or training. Depending on which pilot you apply, maybe under child care or home support, you'll need work experience or training in certain docs. Look here, 44100, home child care providers, people who are actually working as caregiver or nannies in the home kind of setting, they are eligible to apply. And other than that, this tier is also eligible, but only for the assistants. If you are working as an educator, you have completed your study as an ECE, you are not eligible to apply under this program. I'll show you the details here. So what kind of experience? One point was given to us earlier, recent and relevant work experience or recent and relevant training credential. So what kind of work experience? You must have at least 6 months of experience gained within or outside Canada. It needs to be 6 months of work experience. That should be full-time. The work experience must be in one or both of the pilot you apply for. Right? And here they're talking about home child care providers or early childhood educators and assistants. But look here, experience as an early childhood educator, daycare teacher, or supervisor doesn't count. So if you are falling under this category, please do not apply under this program, because you're gonna waste your time and money on this. And other than that, people who are eligible, they will lose their chance to apply under this program. Moreover, for the people who are working as ECEs, you have a different priority stream in express entry. Various PNPs support these ECE, and they support ECEA as well. But then early childhood educators, please don't apply under this program. And that's the reason I'm having this session, because I know so many early childhood educators who were asking regarding this. They wanted to apply, but they will not qualify. But early childhood education assistance, yes, you can go forward and you can apply under that. Okay, then comes home support workers, caregivers, and related occupations. So if you have an experience when you have worked for more than 6 months as home support worker or caregiver, you are eligible to apply under this program. And even people who have worked under this NOC 33102, they are also eligible to apply under this program. And luckily, that the good news is that these people can also apply under express entry priority stream. So the more clarity here is work experience in NOC 33102 gained in an institutional setting. For example, long-term care may be eligible. So these people are also eligible. I know many of my clients are from this background, and they were asking since long, but I was waiting for these instructions. And now when we have this clarity in front of us, I'm able to tell you, yes, you can apply and you're eligible to apply under this pilot program. In the knocks of one pilot, either childcare or home support. Okay, what you can have is, for example, if you worked as a childcare provider at a home facility for 3 months, and you also worked as an early childhood assistant for 3 months, you can combine that experience and move forward to make that eligibility meet that eligibility requirement for 6 months. Match the job description and include most of the main duties listed under the knock. That's very, very important. And this experience should have been gained since you were 18 years or older, have been gained within 3 years before you apply. So if you had some experience when you were not here in Canada, that will not count when you are in, like maybe you were outside Canada, now you're inside, then also you can apply. But this should be within the 3 years before you apply for under this program. Any experience you gain after applying doesn't count. So if you have completed, for example, 4 months on March 31st, 2025, and you believe, okay, I can cover up after applying for 2 months, no, you cannot. It should be complete 6 months experience, then only you can apply under this program. Be continuous, meaning you must have worked at least 6 months in a row. It cannot be with the breaks. I know many people, they are just thinking, okay, they can, if they have worked for 2 months, they took a break, then work 2 months, that ways maybe it will count. No, it would not be count. If you change job, then also there must be no breaks between them. And that should be clear when you're checking your eligibility while applying under this program. Next one here is be full-time, meaning at least 30 hours of paid work per week. If you work multiple part-time jobs at the same time, it only counts if it adds up to 30 hours per week for 6 months in a row. It's okay if you worked for two companies, two organizations, or two people, two households for the same time. You were working 15 hours with one family and 15 or 20 hours with the other family. That can be combined to make it full-time experience. It could be like 30, like the maximum we count would be 30 hours of paid work per week, and they won't count more than that. Uh, but yeah, it needs to be at least 30. If you, even though if you combine, for example, in January, you worked for 20 hours per week. February, you worked for 30 hours per week. Then also you will not qualify if it is not maintained for entire 6 months. Working with two employers, yes, it's eligible. Authorized while you had temporary resident status if your work experience was gained in Canada. The work could have been authorized under a valid work permit maintained stated status or a public policy. So your work should be on authorized valid work permit whenever you were working inside Canada. Even though if you were on maintained status, maybe you were on PGWP or you were just, you applied for extension and you were working, that works. What does not count as work experience? Work experience gained as a full-time student, work experience gained while you were self-employed, periods of unemployment, that means break in between those 6 months, long-term sickness or parental leave. If you should check your eligibility with this. If any of these are there, you're not eligible to apply under this program. Then comes training. You must have received a credential for a relevant training of at least 6 months within or outside Canada. The training must be targeted towards the following tiers: NOx, home childcare provider, 44100, early childhood educators and assistants. Again, they have mentioned, although the tier is 42202, but this does not include early childhood educators, daycare teachers, and supervisors. Again, it's a big no. Home support workers, caregiver and related occupations, nurse aides, and these are eligible again. In the NOx of one pilot, either childcare or home support worker, you can have a mix of occupations only within the same pilot. Be at the post-secondary level, that means you should have completed your grade 12. Be full-time, meaning at least 15 hours of training per week during the academic year or period of study. Be offered mainly in an in-person classroom environment. Have been started while you were 17 years or older. So if you started that study when you were 16 years or older, like above 17, then you're not eligible. Be completed within the 2 years before you apply. So it should be your recent studies in the past 2 years. If you completed this training outside Canada, you don't need an education credential assessment. So if your study was for more than one year or more, and you did it outside Canada, and that is to meet the requirement of your education, then you need that Canadian equivalency. If it is not for the purpose of meeting that requirement, then it does not need Canadian equivalency. You can have your grade 12 and one certificate as a nanny caregiver in the past, that's 6 months or more, you can qualify. What does not count as training? Training that was targeted towards occupations other than those listed above. For example, training in the medical field, that does not count towards this program. Training that was done mainly online, on the job training. So if you're working somewhere on the job, that's not counted. And any training that was only done online, not counted. Medical field, we don't know what kind of trainings they are talking about here, but I believe it could be BSc or something, but I'm not sure. They have not given more details on this, but we are hoping maybe they're talking about that. Most importantly, because many people who are working as home support workers would be qualifying under this program, but now we need to check who can provide you the job offer. Before you apply, you need to have a genuine job offer, right? And who can provide you these kind of job offers? So the location, the job must be under this tier. The location can be an institutional setting as a daycare. So if you are working at a daycare center, even though if you're working as a early childhood educator assistant, then also your owner at the daycare cannot provide you with a job offer. They are not eligible to apply. A job as a foster parent doesn't count. So these two are not eligible to provide job offer. Under this home care worker pilot program, home support workers, caregivers, and okay, the location can't be an institutional setting such as a nursing home. So this is for sure, it cannot be a nursing home. So who can provide you? Okay, they are saying this again. Although work experience and training in these knocks may be eligible, we won't accept job offers for early childhood educators and assistants, nurse aides, orderlies, and patient service associates. So these people, they might have this experience, but when they apply, they should be applying for the job offer for 44101 or uh, yeah, or 44100. These tiers only. This job offer should be in Canada, outside Quebec, full-time and continuous work, meaning at least 30 hours of paid work per week, permanent employment. There's no end date. There should be no end date mentioned on the job offer. The job offer must include your hourly wage, employment requirements, and a description of the main duties. And be genuine, meaning there's real need to hire you. The employer can fulfill the terms of the job, including paying you. The employer follows all the rules of ISCC and federal and provincial legislation. Your wage must be equal to or higher than the job bank's median wage for the occupation listed on your job offer in the province or territory of employment. You can check that median wage and then you can see, okay, if that matches, then you're eligible. Right? Okay, if your employer is a business, they must have been providing the same type of care services as the job for at least 1 year before the job offer was made. So we like the government want these people to have been into this business for at least 1 year. It could be more. And here I think most of the businesses would qualify. The employer must have a CRA business number and be either a private household or a business. And even if it's a private household, they should have that number to be eligible to apply for your to provide you the job offer. A business that has a direct employer-employee relationship, meaning the employer is directly responsible for hiring the employee, managing work conditions, paying the employee. This includes organizations that directly hire full-time workers to provide short-term or occasional home care for those who are semi-independent or recovering from an injury or illness. For example, home healthcare service providers, home care support service providers, direct care agencies, personal care services in residential settings, pediatric home healthcare service providers. So, what does this mean? This means any institute that is hiring people to provide services at residence or maybe in residential settings, and you can check with your employer if your employers are under these categories. Yes, 100% they can provide you the job offer. They just need to be in the business from past 1 year, and they should have that their CRA number also, and then they'll be good to provide you the job offer. What doesn't count as an eligible employer? The employer can be a recruitment or placement agency. So if there's a recruitment agency that's hiring people for any facilities like these, they do not qualify as your employer. It cannot be an embassy, a high commission or consulate, or a person accredited to these missions in Canada. For example, a diplomat, they do not qualify. An employer found non-compliant, they cannot. And yourself, you cannot provide yourself a job offer. Your spouse, common law partner, parent, grandparent, or child. I remember in the past pilot program, relatives were eligible to support, and we did few files when brothers sisters they could provide job offer to their brother or sister if they had those eligibility criteria met. But for now, it's not mentioned regarding brother sister. Other few people have been mentioned, and I think brother sister would maybe they would qualify because it's not in the list there. But in any case, you should meet all the requirements. You should be eligible. The employer who is providing you the job offer should be eligible under this program, and then only they can provide you with the job offer. And then what would we would need There's a form that needs to be completed by the individual employers or the business employers, and that's on the, like, if you meet all the requirements, then definitely all the information is already there. How many files would be picked up? Inside Canada, 2350 files, 260 alternate formats. For example, these are the paper files that would be accepted. And I don't think so many people will go under this format, because that's first come, first serve. So everybody will try to do it quickly through the online mode. Out of status and unauthorized workers, 125, and alternate format 15. And this deadline for this intake year is March 30, 2026, but I don't think it's gonna go that long. And another one here is, oh, that's a good thing. We have 2350 number for the childcare, and again 2350 number for the home support. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't think so many people will qualify. And another stream, it will open later on. So still we have a lot many files, and I really hope only people who are eligible, they should apply. So what you can do is, you can be ready before this time with all the documents, everything should be ready, and the files should be submitted as soon as possible once this program opens. And it's not open yet, right? But again, I'll keep you posted regarding this. Whatever, like, we have all the information for now, but if you want more information, then yes, you can book an online appointment through our website, and we can talk to me regarding your specific case. Other than that, whatever is on the website, I have already told you. Thank you so much and good luck. Bye bye.